Main event, Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. Were we going to get this match, or was it going to be subject to change? Guys, you're tuned into your SmackDown review. Stay tuned. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about SmackDown. What I thought was a really fun show. It was really good in parts. Went a bit longer in some parts than it needed to. I guess that's just WWE in general. But yeah, really, really good show as we move just a week or so out now from the Royal Rumble. So really exciting times. We're going to get into everything that happened on the show today, including what was supposed to be a main event between Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce in just a second. So stay tuned. And if you didn't know, right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. The show started with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman taking up the middle of the ring. And Roman Reigns, was basically expressing his frustration that, yeah, you guys got one over on me last week about this card subject to change stuff. But, you know, what if I kind of complained about every injury I had? What if I complained about my bad ankles? What if I complained about my shoulder and both of my shoulders hurting? What if I complained about my back? Because my back's been hurting because I've been carrying this company for so many years. I think we all saw that one coming. But yeah, he was really well delivered. And obviously him speaking more than usual shows how kind of angry he was at the whole situation. In the middle of his rant, Adam Pearce came out. And Adam Pearce basically said, look, this has gone too far, etc. Let's not do all of this. And Adam Pearce Roman Reigns was having a go at Adam Pearce in this segment, and Paul Heyman started laughing. And Adam Pearce said, look, I will take what he has to say, Roman Reigns, but I'm not having you laughing, Paul Heyman. And I think he said something else to Paul Heyman. And Roman Reigns basically took to the mic and goes, you know, Paul, he's disrespecting you. And if he's disrespecting you, he's disrespecting me. And all of that kind of stuff. Paul Heyman took to the mic and challenged Adam Pearce to a match, saying he's from New York, he's going to beat him up and all of this stuff. Really, really fun stuff. So, yeah, we were promised Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns whispered into Adam Pearce's ear before he left. By the end of the night, you're going to get your ass beat. So yeah, that is exactly where we were to start the show. Really good segment. Adam Pearce, I just think he's just such a good on-screen, you know, authority figure, GM or whatever he is. Even after being beaten up by Jey Uso and stuff, he shows no fear. He walks straight into the lion's den with Roman Reigns. You know, he's not scared. Like, so yeah, very, very good stuff that he's been doing recently. Moving on, we had like a running theme throughout the show. Sami Zayn, or shall I say maybe for the first half of the show, Sami Zayn was, he came down to ringside with his documentary crew, kind of selling the fact that, you know, this whole conspiracy against Sami Zayn and all this kind of stuff. He took out a pair of handcuffs and he handcuffed himself to the barricade in his protest, said that he wasn't moving or anything like that. So yeah, Sami Zayn was going to be there for the foreseeable future throughout the matches on the night. Moving on, we had the first match of the night, and we had the women's tag team champions, Asuka and Charlotte, come over from Raw as they can, you know, so traveling titles, traveling belt, whatever. They came over to face Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan of the Riott Squad. Obviously, Billie Kay was with them. This was a pretty decent match in some places. Obviously, the X Factor was Billie Kay trying to help the Riott Squad, but ultimately always costing them and stuff like that. I know that the Riott Squad are probably never going to beat Asuka and Charlotte, but I just feel like what was really the benefit of this then? if you see what I mean. We need to start making more tag teams, more stronger looking tag teams, so that we have legitimate competitors, because Asuka and Charlotte are both well known in the singles, domain. So there's no point them holding this tag team for too long. We need to use this to build up the other tag teams around them. But like I say, this was a pretty decent match. In the end, I think Billie Kay costed the Riot Squad by distracting the referee somewhat. And we saw a what could you call it? I can't remember the name. That Asuka done to Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, sorry. And Charlotte came into the ring, natural selection, and pinned Ruby Riot. So the champions walk out with a win, and later on backstage we see Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan kind of discommunicate themselves and break off from Billie Kay within the Riot Squad. So yeah, maybe that's not going to be no more. Billie Kay has to go and find a new group or something to go and hang around with. Next up on the show, we saw Daniel Bryan come out, and Daniel Bryan was kind of putting himself over that, again, he's never won the Royal Rumble, that he plans to win it. Morning, Gigi. Just seen Gigi in the comments. Big up, Gigi. Yeah, so we saw Daniel Bryan literally telling us all he hasn't won the Royal Rumble before, that, he needs to win it, kind of. He said he's happy with his career, but he wants to win it to kind of complete his career, sort of thing. Cesaro came out and said, look, I beat you last week. I thought that would have kind of taught you a lesson. You're not going to win the Royal Rumble. I am. And he came out to kind of issue an open challenge to anyone that wants one. Dolph Ziggler came out, and Dolph Ziggler accepted the challenge. These two, in not a lot of time, put on a really, really good match, just showing, their technical prowess, if you like. In the end, Cesaro put away Dolph Ziggler after a litany of swings. He put away Dolph Ziggler with the neutralizer. 2 wins on the bounce for Cesaro. Is Cesaro entering the conversation to win the Royal Rumble? What do you guys think? Is Cesaro entering the conversation to win the Royal Rumble? 2 wins on the bounce now. And, for those that remember, you can't help but think this is the kind of similar momentum Drew McIntyre was building towards his Royal Rumble win last year. Drew got a lot more than 2 wins, and, there's only one more week of TV before the Royal Rumble. But this could be just someone that they're throwing in the hat, giving a little push to, make us think, maybe come the Royal Rumble. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. Put it down below in the comments. So yeah, Cesaro beat Dolph Ziggler in this match, looking strong going into the Royal Rumble. Next up, we had Sasha Banks versus Reginald. Reginald being Carmella's sommelier, the wine pourer, the champagne popper. He got in the ring with Sasha Banks, started off the match by issuing Sasha Banks with a rose, told Sasha Banks to kiss him on the cheek. Sasha Banks declined, went to attack him, and he brings out, the Cirque du Soleil stuff, or like Corey Graves called it, Cirque du Sommelier, which was pretty good. The guy is just incredible, like gymnast, of course, like he can do all sorts of stuff. And it was very interesting the way they kind of put together this intergender match. He never really attacked Sasha Banks. He never put a strike on her or anything like that. This was all very much gymnastic kind of moves, and a lot of choreographed kind of stuff. Some things were a bit awkward to put together, but it worked in the end, I guess, for just the whole point, which was to stretch out the lifespan of this story that they're telling with Carmella and Sasha Banks. So it didn't last very long. It was very interesting. We saw a massive meteora to the outside by Sasha Banks onto him. Sasha Banks knocked Carmella's champagne out of her hand at one point. Still went back into the ring, a lot more gymnastics. But in the end, Sasha Banks put away Reginald with a bank statement. He tapped out. and Sasha Banks will go on to face or defend, should I say, her SmackDown Tag Team Championship. What am I talking about? It's Tag Team Championship. SmackDown Women's Championship against Carmella at Royal Rumble. Like I said, especially just to kind of, drag out the lifeline of this. We got Funny French in the comments. Good morning to you too, my friend. He said that match was so weird but exciting. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It would have been kind of awkward if he did lay a strike on her or anything like that. But yeah, I think they kind of done it in the best way. Maybe to get it completely clean with all the somersault kind of moves that her and him were doing together. They maybe should have pre-filmed this match. But I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay for what it was. Gigi says, when Cole said now he has a reason to whine, I nearly turned off. Yeah, Corey got onto him about that. Michael Cole and his cheesy lines, man. Yeah. Cool. So let's get on to the Intercontinental Championship match, which followed Sasha Banks and Reginald. But before we do, guys, if you're watching, please make sure you have smashed the like button on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're watching. It does loads for the channel, and I thoroughly appreciate it. So one more time, if you haven't already, please smash the like button. Thank you very much. Big E versus Apollo Crews Intercontinental Championship match. I guess we were going to see if Crews was really turning heel here, if he did anything extraordinary to really get in under Big E's skin. This match was good. Obviously, it ended sooner than it should have, in my opinion. And just as it was heating up, we saw Uranagis, we saw those backflips, those moonsaults that Crews does, and we saw German suplexes. Sami Zayn unchained himself from where he was tied in a barricade to the handcuffs. He ran into the ring while Apollo Crews was in the corner and delivered a haluva kick to Apollo Crews. So that obviously the match was thrown out from there, disqualification. Not picking on Apollo Crews, he delivered a haluva kick to Big E. He walked out the ring talking about his conspiracies and how he's the Intercontinental Champion. Right, so this match was completely thrown out. I guess you can't help but think that right now, Royal Rumble, we're going to get a triple threat match between Apollo Crews, Big E, and Sami Zayn. And again, possible scenario, does Big E lose to one of these guys, enter the Royal Rumble, and wins the Royal Rumble? If they are going to go with a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship at Royal Rumble, it's very likely that Big E drops it and enters the Royal Rumble. And, as some people have been doing in the last couple of months, they've been throwing Big E's name into the hat. He could win the Royal Rumble. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. But I think it's too early. I don't think Big E should be pushed into the Universal Championship picture right now, personally. I have no issue if he is, and I'd like to see the story that comes out of it, but it's a bit of a tough one. It's a bit of a tough one, I think. But yeah, if that match does happen and Big E is to drop it, it'll be interesting to see Apollo Crews pick it up with this kind of new attitude, his loose affiliation with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. It'll be good to see what happens from there. So yeah, moving on. This was kind of what I was looking forward to all night. I'm not even gonna lie. Bayley versus Bianca Belair, obstacle course challenge, the ultimate obstacle course challenge, or the ultimate athlete obstacle course challenge. They called it so many things during the night. Michael Cole was supposed to host it. Thank God Bayley took the mic from him and told him to get lost. So she kind of emceed it in the beginning, told us of the rules, told us of the obstacles. Bayley took her sweet time going through that course, flipping over a tire, jumping over the hurdles, running around the walls that she should have climbed over, picking up Chad Gable in a fireman's carry, and walking with him on her back over a distance, and then finally putting the basketball into the hoop. I think Bailey took 1 minute 12 seconds. Before Bianca Belair went, we saw we saw Belair. We saw Bailey EST up the obstacle course, making the hurdles bigger, and replacing Chad Gable with Otis. Of course, this was not a problem for the EST for Bianca Belair. She jumped the hurdles, climbed over the walls, picked up Otis, carried him over the said distance, and slam dunked the basketball into the hoop to win with 17 seconds or so to spare. So really impressive stuff. I think we all knew Bianca Belair was gonna win, but it was a fun little segment, and of course we got the inevitable at the end. And that was Bailey laying an attack at the hands of Bianca Belair. And to start this attack, she threw the basketball right into Bianca Belair's midriff, which I thought looked pretty painful, to be honest. But yeah, I guess these two still have some distance left to go. I doubt we're seeing we might get a singles match with these two next week on SmackDown. We're not going to get a pay-per-view match, I don't think. Not on the Royal Rumble. They might have a spot within the Royal Rumble. Maybe that's where Bianca gets her revenge. Maybe she eliminates Bailey. Who knows? I personally think Bailey's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble. But I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, pretty decent segment. Next up, I can't lie, I switched off when this came on. King Corbin versus Dominic Mysterio. I saw Rey Mysterio prepping Dominic Mysterio backstage, and I thought, oh, here we go. I don't even know what they were talking about. All I heard was Dominic Mysterio saying, "No, Papa, I'm gonna do this my way." Blah blah blah. Like, all right, mate. Came down to the ring, and I was actually praying that King Corbin just put away Dominic Mysterio very quickly. Pretty much what happened. Like I said, I kind of switched off. I can't tell you much of what happened within this match. I do remember there was a 619 from Dominic Mysterio, but King Corbin kind of dominated in a lot of places in this match, and in the end put away Dominic Mysterio with a end of days, the most protective move in WWE, the end of days. I don't know what's happened with Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. They're just falling off the boil. Put Dominic Mysterio into NXT. Let him, get his reps in, get more confident. Because it looks like maybe he's a bit short of confidence at this point. Obviously, he was last SummerSlam, and that he was kind of pushed to the moon and stuff. Had Seth Rollins, an ultimate professional kind of guiding him through matches and stuff like that. And maybe being taken off TV for a while and stuff has affected his confidence, because whatever him and Rey Mysterio are doing at the minute, it's not really clicking. So maybe it is time for that run in NXT to just kind of learn the ropes and get regular TV time and stuff like that. Last but not least, Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. I wanted to see this match, right? I wanted to see what was this going to be, in fact. So Paul Heyman comes out, tapes up his hands, goes to walk up the steps into the ring, trips, falls. Here we go. Tries to do it again, trips, falls, doesn't get into the ring. Adam Pearce is like, okay, I get what's happening here. Paul Heyman takes to the mic. These WWE matches, subject to change. Hit the music. Da-da, da-da. Roman Reigns is coming out to face Adam Pearce. I'm thinking absolutely brilliant, because this is what I predicted. I always thought we were going to get Roman Reigns versus Adam Pearce. I did say it's not going to be the Royal Rumble match, though. The Royal Rumble match was going to be Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, in my mind, always. That's basically what had panned out, or what I believed we were going to get. Roman Reigns comes out, hair down, backs off his t-shirt, and he's getting his revenge on Adam Pearce as promised. And this is no match. This is just a fight. Beats up Adam Pearce, drags him out to the ring, goes to take him to up into the Thunderdome, where the screens where he pushed Kevin Owens off a couple of weeks back. Adam Pearce, like I said earlier on, he's just doing some great stuff right now. I'm so happy that he's not the kind of mold of the original GM. it was pretty interesting when Roman Reigns threw him up there. I thought, there's no table down here to break his fall like there was for Kevin Owens. So what the hell are they about to do? We didn't see anything further on Adam Pearce from there. We saw Kevin Owens run out to save the day. He that had been banished from the arena came in with a hoodie on. So somehow he snuck past security, I'm guessing. And he really took it to Roman Reigns. Very kind of brutal beatdown around the arena. They kind of got back into the ring. He delivered a stunner, a super kick. Got Roman Reigns outside the ring again. Referees and everything were trying to break it up. Other officials. He kept attacking Roman Reigns. Another stunner into the barricade on the outside. Picked up Roman Reigns. Set him up for a I've forgotten what he calls it, but his power bomb basically, and power bombs Roman Reigns through the ringside table, the announcers table. And I guess this is the kind of like a visual for, last man standing, which was Kevin Owens. Really good to see Kevin Owens fired up, taking it to Roman Reigns. I think this is, the height of the beating that Roman Reigns is gonna take within this feud, really putting over Kevin Owens, because I think we all know Kevin Owens is not gonna win at Royal Rumble. He's not gonna win the last man standing. He is not gonna become the Universal Champion. But it's going to be a really good match. It's going to be a really good match. And now that I'm thinking about it, didn't Roman Reigns have a last man standing match at the last Royal Rumble against Baron Corbin? That match where he threw Baron Corbin into like a toilet or something like that. Wasn't that at the Royal Rumble? And I'm sure that was a last man standing match as well. But anyway, guys, that was SmackDown. Like I said, a pretty fun show all around. We've come to realize that SmackDown is light years better than Raw. But yeah, really fun show, slowed down by the likes of Dominic Mysterio versus Baron Corbin, but a really good show nonetheless. I'm creeping ever closer to Royal Rumble. Let me know, is Cesaro's name now in the hat to win Royal Rumble? What do you guys think? And if we're gonna get a triple threat match, Sami Zayn, Apollo Crews, and Big E for the Intercontinental Championship at Royal Rumble, does Big E drop the championship in the match, enter the Royal Rumble, and win it? Couple moving pieces here. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Guys, please make sure you have smashed the like button on your way out. It does loads for the channel. I thoroughly appreciate it each and every time. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.